government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, has taken steps to review the National Gender Policy 2025 to 2034 to create equal opportunities for all by mainstreaming gender concerns into national development processes.
Sierra Leone's Minister for Gender and Children's Affairs, Isata Mohua, also commended experts for their contributions during the two-day deliberations.
No democracy can thrive when half of its citizens, mostly women, are excluded. And no society can prosper when its young population are denied the opportunity to shape their future. Our deliberations must be bold, our recommendations practical, and our resolve unwavering.
Still at the presidency, Vice President Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has urged women in governance and the media to lead with visibility, credibility and accountability. Speaking at the first National Forum on Women in Governance and Media at the presidency, she emphasized that influence, not prominence alone, defines true leadership. She encouraged women to serve as representatives of those not in leadership spaces, mentor young professionals, and use their platforms to shape national narratives responsibly, fostering public trust and sustainable democratic governance.
The first annual National Forum on Women in Governance and Media is a national platform designed to strengthen collaboration between women in public leadership and women in the media. Held under the theme Leadership, Visibility, Public Trust, the forum promotes dialogue, mentorship and strategic partnership to enhance women's role in governance, democratic accountability and national development. The initiative aligns with President John Mahama's Reset Agenda, which prioritizes inclusive leadership and increased representation of women in decision-making in line with the Affirmative Action Act 2024. Women in government took turns to share their experiences in public service, highlighting the demands of leadership, the impact of public scrutiny, and the resilience required to succeed. They encouraged younger women to remain competent, prepared, and confident in pursuing leadership roles. The Chief of Staff reaffirmed government's commitment to inclusive governance and sustained mentorship for women in public administration.
Remember when His Excellency the President nominated Professor Nana, we all said she's broken what? The glass ceiling. Very outstanding. But you know the part that I loved so much? When Prof. Nana herself said, well, you've opened the door for me to walk through, but I don't want to be selfish. I'm going to stand by the latch, open the door for many other women to walk through. And I think that is what she started today.
Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman urged women to support one another and lead with excellence and integrity, stressing that visibility in leadership must be matched with credibility and accountability.
To women in government and public institutions, let us continue to lead with integrity, communicate transparently, and mentor deliberately. Let us reach out to the younger women. Let's guide them. Let's restore trust and let them know that we have their back.
The forum concluded with renewed commitment to collaboration, mentorship, and ethical leadership as women continue to shape Ghana's governance and communication landscape.
President John Mahama will deliver the State of the Nation address to Parliament on Friday, February 27, 2026. The address will review the country's current status and progress since his administration took office. The president is expected to outline the government's key priorities and policy direction for the coming year. Focus will be on critical sectors, including the economy, health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and Ghana's international relations. The Majority Leader Mahama Yariga announced detailed preparatory measures in Parliament today.
The President of the Republic is scheduled to deliver a message on the state of the nation on Friday, 27 February 2026 at 10 a.m. in accordance with Article 67 of the Constitution. In line with the convention of the House, honorable members are urged to be punctual and seated in the chamber by 9:15 a.m., as it is inappropriate for members to enter or exit the chamber after His Excellency the President has entered the House to deliver his address. The Speaker, in view of the President's address on Friday, the House will sit at 10 a.m. on Thursday, 26 February 2026, to enable the House adjourn early in preparation for the address.
And now to the regions. At the Kropone-Kwapim North District of the Eastern Region, the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, has inaugurated the Kropone High Court Complex. The edifice, funded from the District Assembly's Common Fund, is to improve justice delivery across the Kwapim region.
Relied on a single courthouse, which served numerous towns. The situation put a strain on the facility and affected justice delivery in the area. So, in 2018, the then Chief Justice Sophia Kufu directed that a modern High Court complex be constructed, but it was not until August 2022 that work officially started with funding from the District Assembly's Common Fund. After 4 years of construction, the new Ekropong High Court complex is ready for use. The edifice houses the Ekropong High Court and Circuit Court, judges' chambers, a docket room, an alternative dispute resolution room, as well as registrar and cashier offices. The Kwapim North Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. John Kumoji, said with a High Court complex in place, residents of Ekropong will no longer travel outside the municipality to access higher judicial services. The Eastern Regional Minister, Mrs. Rita Wate, said the presence of the High Court complex demonstrates the region's commitment to decentralizing justice delivery. She appealed for proper maintenance of the facility.
I respectfully urge you to protect it, respect it, and uphold the rule of law it represents. I charge the Kwapim North Municipal Assembly to ensure that the good maintenance culture is applied to this facility so that it serves its useful purpose.
The Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, commended all who contributed to the completion of the project. He reminded the gathering that the High Court complex is not merely a building, but a justice complex designed to promote efficiency, dignity, and accessibility.
The delivery of justice is inextricably linked to national development. A society that resolves conflicts lawfully and peacefully fosters economic growth, social stability, and democratic resilience. Courts are not merely battlegrounds, they are institutions of order and hope. As we inaugurate this High Court complex today, let it stand as a symbol of unity. Unity between traditional authority and state institutions, unity between national and local governments, and unity among citizens devoted to the rule of law.
Construction of the court complex was carried out by modern international developers and consultants, Real PSM Consortium.
A perfect storm is hitting Bono East maize farmers, with unsold produce piling up and debts mounting. What was once a profitable venture has turned sour, leaving farmers in a tight spot. Our correspondent Samuel Ayama reports from the field.
The maize crisis in Kunkrumpe, Atepubuamante municipality, is at a boiling point. Homes are bursting with unsold maize, with rooms turned into makeshift warehouses, and farms overflowing with unharvested crops. The price has plummeted from 1,000 Ghana cedis to 350 Ghana cedis per sack, with no buyers in sight. Stray animals roam freely, competing with owners for stranded produce, as it sits exposed to the elements. Banks are now looming over farmers in Kunkrumpe aggressively seeking repayment of farm loans. The youth who bet big on maize are having major buyer's remorse, wondering if they will ever recoup their investments.
Day in, day out.
The government to help us with the market, because as a farmer, when you don't get markets, you can't go further to produce those materials or the food again.
Desperate pleas are coming from Konkrompe's new maize farmers. They want government to act now before it's too late. They are counting on intervention to salvage the industry and prevent a total collapse. The Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, Mr. John Dumelo, spoke to GBC News.
But what I can assure the maize farmers is that definitely they are going to get market for it. Definitely in the next couple of months, they are going to get market for it. And we know 2025 has been, it's been a double-edged sword. It's been good and bad. It's been good because there's been overproduction. It's been a little bit bad because the marketing has been a problem. But like I said, buffer stock is coming in, come and mop it up. But all in all, in 2026, that's how come we are sort of compensating the farmers with free fertilizer and free seeds so that their inputs cost will reduce for the 2026 farming season. Because I know some farmers are contemplating whether they should still go into production. But of course, going into production is good. There will be high demand for maize and other products.
The maize glut in Bono East is reaching crisis point. Unsold bags are piling up in homes and farms, pushing farmers to the edge of bankruptcy. Samuel Ayama, GBC News, Atebubu.
Cocoa farmers across Ghana are demanding the release of outstanding payments. Since November 2025, many producers have reported unpaid proceeds, with some warning of impacts on farm maintenance, household incomes, and preparations for the upcoming season. On Friday, February 20th, 2026, farmers from the Western North region took their demands directly to Cocoa Board headquarters in Accra.
Mayakuya, that is 7 years in Mentisa Coco, Yatisuda. You better see your maintain price. No, I feel so say, Okuyani, now you're the Niba to be brought your bank and a ha. Naso Boka, or Majin is come from you, Minti Vida. Abano to her, no one could talk Cocono, na a capa, a man to an assembly and tray on Faisikamai. I feel so you won't say Coco Mano, a cofum, sent to say a bona yatisutino. My friend in our program say, now so you see a boy a cocono, assassin by, send your bayer, your man who quaker and say, Omco, no more yano better, na a cocono money a year. Coco, a Ghana, na Ghana a coco. You need us when you need coco.
Who say, Nana, a comfort? Will be a comfort, what two cocoa, mamma. Now, who you're comfort, I can't bet a bonus. Will be a well increase at the amount. And in your when you are comfort, it's the other and penny no. One fight about that, I know, and another. A demand. On family.
Coco, a draw. Tobacco, you are chevy Pabamian, Nipabana, some when you tobacco. Well, depends here. Now, we're in an abaya day, and a nimre. Because I hear your cocoa, a bessay. A big grass here on cocoa, a bemagram say for. But, young Penissa. And within a year, sir, on my penny, yes, Senator, on for Yesicano, and my Yedi crown, on your crown, on for Sir Abdadano, Nanado, a Jan Honor, on for my Abana said, yes, Rena, Mabruna, I always turn off no. Yo, a much a bammy and Sam Mununo, Edward Mohako Jigalam, Sir Jumanum, and about my father's about there, or Modo Mohako Jumanum. Abandada no Ochamuno or the Shebi by. Am I a cocoa and yet the Uncle G movie? The see Amica say, my four American trial and fear 9 years. I feel I shall see our air so.
nti afi na me so anka mete so aba e de ahwa me yere ene me ma no me namfo no omo de omo kwaje galamsey mu no omo anya sika asisi adan atoto ka ase na ya nso ekoko na ye de efritete koko na ye na nam de titi enti ye se e be koko enti ye sra aba na ye sra no onya ma koko adwuma no enya akono na ye maburu na ye wa achi no ye nya ahwehwemu e wo koko adwuma nim.
In a developing story, the Minister for Health, Mr. Kwabena Mintah Kando, has visited the Mamprobi Hospital to apprise himself of the baby theft incident that occurred at the facility on Tuesday. When he met with management, he was emphatic that the hospital administrators should ensure that all uniformed staff wear identification tags while at post. Meanwhile, both mother and child at the center of the incident are recuperating well at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. A report by Sarah Fori.
Our health professionals working within the environment, if somebody comes into the environment, even if the person is dressed like a nurse or a medical doctor, and the person is not part of you, are you not able to identify the person?
We should be able to identify, yes. Unfortunately, it was not the case on that day, but we are also teaching our staff to be more security conscious going forward and to be each other's keeper to ensure that once they see somebody, they should question. We are also telling our client service executive to be going around the wards every morning to also inform the clients, also educate them on the need to be responsible for their personal security as well, so that they will question anybody who comes to them to give them any directive.
We have given clear instructions and directives, and I think that it's about time we obey instructions, clear instructions. We don't give instructions for giving instructions' sake, just to save all of us. We don't wait until things of this nature happen before we begin to heighten instructions that has already been given. You understand? So please, let's increase our surveillance. I've directed the Director General that every health facility must have some kind of relationship with the immediate police post. So the police must even be patrolling here as and when, or at the click of a button, you must get access to them. There must be that relationship. We directed long ago, and the name tags, the CCTV cameras, they must always be working. Always, all of them must be working. Name tags should not be taken off at the ward level. Name tags, both the parent, the mother, and the baby, should be taken off at the security gate, at the exit. That's why you take the name tags off after going through all the protocols, settling your debts, and you are exiting the health facility. That's where the name tags must be taken off. And that is one of the reasons why, or that is one of the means why we can avoid the incident of baby swaps. We hear this a lot. Stealing of babies and people complaining that, no, this is not my baby. In some cases, they come from the identification of the babies. So tagging babies and tagging parents are very, very important under these circumstances. So
you are watching News Hour here on GBC News, your news and governance channel. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
Repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShea is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
Welcome back. In business, the acting head of other financial institutions supervision department of the Bank of Ghana, Mr. Desmond Agboga, has reaffirmed the central bank's commitment to robust supervision and governance in the financial sector. Speaking at the South Akim Rural Bank's 40th anniversary in Nankasi, he urged the bank's management and staff to aim for the top spot among Ghana's rural banks.
Akim Rural Bank, established in 1984 in Nankasi, has been a beacon of financial inclusion with 8 branches in Nankasi, Suhum, Kofodua, Adreso, Asamankasi, Aduajiri, Osinase, and Kede. It has empowered individuals and MSMEs, driving socio-economic growth in rural communities. The Bank of Ghana's Desmond Agboga praises its impact.
After nearly 5 decades of rural bank operations, the sector has evolved significantly to respond to phenomenal challenges posed by technological advancement, globalization, customer sophistication, increased competition, changes in industry dynamics, and sprawling growth of cities and towns, amongst others.
The South Akim Rural Bank's board chairman, Dr. Theophilus Owari, spoke about the bank's visionary CSR, a scholarship scheme for needy students. This investment in education has paid off. The bank is now the top choice for 80,000 plus customers in its area.
Over the years, South Akim Rural Bank has been intentional about touching lives. After all, what is a bank if it does not touch life? Therefore, in South Akim Rural Bank, the woman in the market expands her table, the farmer who buys seeds and fertilizer, the carpenter who opens his own shop, the teacher builds a home, the corner store owner are all what we care for.
Suhum MCE leader Ohinowa Sarah hails South Akim Rural Bank's 40-year milestone as a remarkable feat. She urged staff to keep pushing, serving customers with dedication and hard work.
Rural banking remains critical drive of grassroots development. Through savings mobilization, credit delivery, South Akim Rural Bank continue to empower us all in which we form the backbone of our local economy.
Under the theme, 40 years of rural banking, ensuring prosperity through empowerment, the bank celebrated its milestone, honoring staff and customers with citations and gifts for their contributions.
President Mahama has officially commissioned the Phase 2 expansion of the B5 Plus Limited steel ball mill and manufacturing facility at Lakpleku in the Ningo Pram district. The president described the project as a landmark in Ghana's industrial transformation. Speaking at the ceremony, he said the project will strengthen domestic steel production, reduce import dependency, create jobs, and position Ghana as a regional hub for steel and industrial goods under the 24-hour economy policy.
The newly commissioned state-of-the-art B5 Plus Limited facility is described by President John Dramani Mahama as a major boost to Ghana's 24-hour economy agenda and a clear demonstration of private sector confidence in the country's industrial future. He says the steel ball mill will strengthen local manufacturing, reduce reliance on imports, and create sustainable jobs for the youth, noting that the project aligns with government's Big Push strategy to expand production, enhance value addition, and accelerate infrastructure development. The expansion is expected to create between 5,000 to 10,000 direct and indirect jobs, increase tax revenue through VAT, corporate taxes and pay, and deepen Ghana's industrial base. The group chair of B5 Plus Limited is Mr. Mike Takwani.
Your Excellency, everything you see here, from the civil works to the structure fabrication, from the electrical installations to the way bridges, the automobile centers, the residential facilities, and factory structures, has been designed, fabricated, and constructed by Ghanaian hands in Ghana, 100% made in Ghana. Only the machinery was imported. The vision, execution, engineering, and commitment are Ghanaians. This is what industrial confidence looks like. With this commissioning, B5 Plus now produces all type of structure steel sections, grinding media balls for the mining industry, expanded pre-engineering building, PB fabrication facility, heavy industrial structures including warehouses, tankers, trailers, and factory systems.
President Mahama outlined an ambitious vision to transform Ghana's infrastructure expansion into a catalyst for industrial growth, positioning iron and steel production at the heart of the country's development strategy.
We are moving up the value chain. We're exporting finished and semi-finished products, not raw scrap. Under the Big Push infrastructure program, government is investing heavily in roads and highways, railway modernization, bridges and interchanges, energy transmission lines, affordable housing, and industrial parks. All these I have mentioned require iron and steel.
President Mahama said Ghana is better positioned to become West Africa's steel hub, coupled with the country's democratic credentials.
Africa is projected to require over 100 billion annually in infrastructure development. West Africa alone faces significant infrastructure deficits. If Ghana develops a strong steel base, we not only build our own roads and bridges, we will also supply steel to the whole sub-region. This is how infrastructure becomes industrial strategy.
President Mahama commended B5 Plus management for investing in Ghana's steel industry and expressed confidence the facility will support mining, construction, and other heavy industrial sectors with locally made inputs, while reiterating government's commitment to a stable economic environment and incentives for private sector growth.
Ghana has been ranked the world's leading regulator of mobile money services, according to the 2025 Mobile Money Regulatory Index released by the GSMA. In a statement issued by the Bank of Ghana, Ghana recorded a score of 96.10%, an improvement over last year's 95.06%, maintaining its #1 position globally. The index assesses mobile money regulations across 90 countries, measuring consumer protection, operational standards, and the strength of digital finance policies. According to the release, Ghana's performance reflects a regulatory environment that promotes innovation, safeguards users, and supports continued growth in the mobile money ecosystem. The Bank of Ghana will continue to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to advance financial inclusion and sustain the transition toward a fully digital inclusive economy. Ghana is currently the leading cocoa producer. I beg your pardon. Ghana is currently the leading coconut producer in Africa and ranked 12th globally. With the current increased investment and expansion within the coconut sector, the Chief Executive of the Ghana Export and Import Bank, Mr. Sylvester Mensah, has advised investors to take advantage of opportunities that are emerging within the tree crop value chain. He made this assertion during the Ghana Tree Crop Investment Summit and exhibition in Accra.
The global coconut market is currently valued at $30 billion. The burgeoning coconut sector in Ghana presents immense opportunities for economic growth, job creation, and sustainable development. However, the industry also faces challenges that need to be addressed to ensure its long-term viability. Ghana produces around 600,000 metric tons of coconuts annually, ranking her Africa's largest producer. At the Ghana Tree Crops Investment Summit and exhibition in Accra by the Tree Crops Development Authority, the Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, Mr. Simon Madje, said the current domestic supply of coconuts remain insufficient to meet the combined needs of local consumption, industrial processing and export markets. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Export-Import Bank, Mr. Sylvester Mensah, spoke of the need for an increased investment in the tree crop sector.
Tree crops are a bridge between agriculture and industry. They do not end at the farm gate. They feed processing plants, logistics systems, export businesses, packaging companies, research institutions, and financial services. Every step up the value chain creates additional jobs and skills, particularly for young people and women.
The Chief Executive of the Tree Crop Development Authority said having investments in the tree crop sector has been challenging, especially for the financial institutions.
We want the financial institutions to have money to help farmers and everybody. People think that they can come to TCDA, you can't get anything from us for now. So get it. People are rushing. What we have now, we have certain projects. That's what the madam wants to make a statement, matching grants, and it covers oil, palm, and cashew you get. And under the president initiative of running the tree crop diversification project, if everything goes through, the $100 million which has been stated on our behalf for developing cashew, rubber, and coconut.
This is said has been due to inadequate education on the prospects of the sector.
In energy news, the director of the Nuclear Power Institute, NPI, Dr. Archibald Boakofi, has called for increased and sustained funding to enable the institute effectively deliver on its national mandate. In an interview with Energy News, Dr. Boakofi warned that inadequate financial support is constraining critical activities, particularly human capacity development and technical preparedness required to advance Ghana's nuclear power program. He stressed that without strategic and sustained investment, efforts to harness nuclear energy as a reliable source of electricity could be significantly delayed.
And do more than we are doing now. A lot of people here, apart from going through the School of Graduates, Nuclear and Allied Science, also did their PhDs outside and are exposed to a lot of skills that they can bring back. The kind of equipment and tools you need to adapt to help we don't have it here. I went to a school, I did my PhD in South Africa. The school I went, the equipment at the time I was doing my PhD, the school, even just the chemistry department had. If you put all the universities in Ghana together, their chemistry department, they wouldn't have it. And that is unfortunate. But that is the reality that we are saddled with. There is a lot that we can do, but we try to make do with what we have. Does it get you to the point where you can rock shoulders with these advanced countries, with advanced laboratories that do some research that you see? And unfortunately not.
The president of the ECG Women in Engineering, Madame Alberta Mankwa, has called on young women to confidently pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM, despite long-held misconception that engineering is a male-dominated profession. Speaking in an interview with the Energy News, Madame Mankwa stated that the future of engineering is driven by intellect, creativity, and innovation, not physical strength. She emphasized that engineering today is about critical thinking and problem solving, explaining that innovation intelligence is not determined by gender.
One of the misconceptions out there is engineering is a preserve of male because engineering requires muscles. These days, engineering does not require masculinity because we have what we call soft engineering, and it requires the brain power. A woman can be intelligent, a man can also be intelligent. Intelligence does not depend on gender, and that is one of the misconceptions we want to demystify. And so when we engage the young ladies out there, we help them to know that no, they should not fall prey to these misconceptions and run away from engineering or STEM field, but rather face them head on and see us as role models. If we have been able to do it, sail through our career path, succeed, and we are at this level, they can equally do it. And so we empower them to take up STEM-related courses to help bridge the gap and ensure that our females have limited or very few challenges working in this field.
MedShay, natural mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShay is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
Welcome back. In news across our borders, Zimbabwe has become one of the first countries globally to launch a national program for lenacapavir, a twice-yearly injectable HIV prevention drug, marking a major milestone in the country's fight to end AIDS as a public health threat.
Gilead Sciences and approved locally in November, lenacapavir is nearly 100% effective and eliminates the need for daily PrEP pills, a game changer for those struggling with adherence. Funded by the U.S. government and the Global Fund, the initial phase targets over 46,000 high-risk individuals across 24 sites nationwide. Priority groups include adolescent girls, young women, and sex workers who face disproportionate infection rates. With 1.3 million people living with HIV, Zimbabwe carries one of Africa's highest burdens. However, the country has achieved UNAIDS 95-95-95 treatment targets and reduced prevalence from 34% in the early 2000s to approximately 12% today.
The Minister for Sports and Recreation, Mr. Kofi Adams, took a bold and personal step on the floor of Parliament by announcing the donation of 2 months of his salary to the newly established Ghana Sports Fund, urging Parliament, the Executive, corporate Ghana and the media to actively support the fund.
Who made this reform possible will continue to champion this fund as its foremost advocate. To corporate Ghana, state-owned enterprises, financial institutions, and development partners. This fund offers a structured and credible platform for investment in youth, health, and national development. Don't wait for the fund administrators to come knocking. Please knock on the fund's door. To the media and sports journalists across the country, I make a direct appeal. The same energy used to question sports financing must now be used to build it. Help us explain the fund. Help us hold it accountable. Help us mobilize support. Campaigns succeed when information is accurate, consistent, and responsible. Right Honorable Speaker, the fund is not a one-discipline fund. It is not a partisan fund. It is not a ministerial project. It is a national instrument. It is for the young girl in Tamale who trains without proper spikes. It is for the boxer in Bukum who needs medical screening and insurance protection. It is for the school athlete in Hohwe who has never traveled beyond her district but carries national potential. It is for our national teams who carry the flag of Ghana across the world. Right Honorable Speaker,
what a blend. It's a masterpiece. Drink responsibly, not for sale to persons under 18 years, not recommended for pregnant women and lactating mothers. Don't drink and drive. This advert is FDA approved.
GTV, the authentic and trusted.
Renowned Ghanaian artist and Guinness World Record holder Sharon Dede Paddy has launched an initiative in Accra to boost arts education. This effort aims to nurture talent and showcase Ghana's rich culture globally.
Has been christened the Paddy Golden Stool Arts Foundation. This initiative is seen as a game changer for Ghana's arts scene, focusing on structured development for kids in orphanages and schools, both urban and rural. Sharon Dede Paddy, the mastermind behind it, is no stranger to making waves. She's a Guinness World Record holder for a massive leaf print painting of the Ghana flag, spanning 54.33 square meters. For her, this foundation is a natural next step in her community outreach efforts through arts.
The gentle rustle of leaves and the devastating silence left behind when trees are felled through galamsey or charcoal production. This piece serves as a reminder that when we embrace sustainable energy solutions and protect our natural resources, we preserve not only our environment, but our future. For when the last tree dies, humanity's survival is threatened.
The National Theatre, Ghana, excited to partner with the artist who has made significant contributions to Ghana's art scene. The theatre's Director of Administration is Mr. Emmanuel Agwedu.
We want to use this opportunity to encourage young people and our sister Sharon to challenge herself to aspire higher and higher so that she can serve as a role model for the young people who are showing interest in the arts.
As founder and chief executive officer of Padiki Art Gallery, Sharon Dede Padi continues to champion African art, cultural heritage, and women's empowerment with her Guinness World Record feat, placing Ghana firmly on the global art market.
That's all in this package by way of news. We're back at 10 p.m. with News Tonight. Thanks for your time. Good evening.